Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. The United States has launched another killer move. The chip license order is here. Does the word license order sound familiar? Is this a replica of China's rare earth license order? That's right. In order to deal with China's rare earth control, the United States has made a fuss about chips again. According to the latest news from foreign media, the U.S. Department of Commerce has notified Samsung, Hynix, and TSMC's factories in mainland China that they will soon cancel their authorization exemptions for using U.S. semiconductor technology in mainland China. Translated into plain language, it means, in the future, chip factories opened in mainland China, whether they are American or American allies, will have to apply for a license order from the United States if they want to use American chip technology. The purpose of this move is obvious, which is to prevent American chip technology from flowing into China. Seeing this, not only the media in South Korea and Taiwan are confused. Why does the United States sanction China and must lift a stone to smash the feet of South Korea and Taiwan? Many Chinese people are also unable to react. Are you sure? Didn't China and the United States talk well in London? I thought the United States would relax chip controls in exchange for China's relaxation of rare earth export controls, but why are they tightening more and more? It is obvious that the United States intends to tear up the results of the London negotiations. It is desperate. So, can the United States win this wishful thinking? 4 words. Absolutely impossible. Let's not talk about anything else. Let's look at China's rare earth advantages. It is not exaggerated. China's rare earth strength is not only rich in resource reserves, but also the key is the good coordination of the entire industrial chain. From mining to purification to processing, all core technologies are firmly in their hands, and the production capacity is huge, which can meet the rare earth demand of the world. The United States also has rare earth mines, but there is no complete processing system. Among the rare earths imported by the United States, more than 90% come from China. It is impossible to bypass China to solve the rare earth problem in the short term. The higher the US jumps, the more anxious it is. Now the US is in a mess because of rare earths. U.S. Defense Intelligence information shows that more than 1,900 key minerals of U.S. weapon systems are highly dependent on China's rare earth supply. The most typical example is the F-47 and F-35 fighters in the U.S. space. If there are not enough rare earths, no matter how powerful the technology is, it will be useless. But how much rare earth inventory does the U.S. Pentagon have left? It is only enough for half a year. The defense demand cannot be met, and private enterprises are even worse. Some SUV production lines of Ford Motor have been shut down. In order to get rare earths, U.S. factories can only ship semi-finished parts to China, install core rare earth magnets on the mainland, and then ship them back to the United States for assembly at up to 3 times the logistics cost. If this continues, not only will the cost be unbearable, but American companies will have to consider moving the production line to China to completely solve the problem. The United States is really stuck with rare earths. Don't they look for alternatives from other countries? However, ideals are always slapped in the face by reality. Many methods have been thought of, but in the end they are all in vain. As early as 2016, the U.S. government issued an internal report showing that it would take at least 15 years for the United States to establish a rare earth supply chain in the country. And this is still based on the premise of relying on China's technical support. If China does not cooperate, it may be a long way off. Let's talk about the second key point. Can the U.S. chip sanctions really be equivalent to rare earth control? 4 big words to Trump: dreaming. The U.S. chip license order must affect Taiwan, South Korea, and other companies to affect China's chip industry. It not only affects the relationship with allies, but also has considerable resistance. China's rare earth brand is firmly controlled by China itself. China's chip factories are an important source of income for TSMC and Samsung, and are the treasures of these companies. Data shows that Samsung's factory in Lebanon, China, is its largest overseas memory chip production base, accounting for more than one-third of Samsung's total output. Its operating profit in 2024 will be as high as 1.2 trillion won, or about 6.2 billion yuan. TSMC is even more hurt. Last year, its new factory in Arizona, USA, lost 3.2 billion yuan, while its Nanjing factory in mainland China made a net profit of 5.8 billion yuan. The United States is trying to sacrifice the interests of its allies to achieve its goal of containing China. Who will be the most hurt? Of course, those plastic allies. South Korea's Samsung can no longer sit still and hurriedly put pressure on the newly appointed government team, demanding that they communicate with the United States to lift the order. Looking at China, the country has long been farsighted and integrated the domestic rare earth industry. In 2016, China formed 6 major rare earth groups, namely, Chinalco Rare Earth, Minmetals Rare Earth, Northern Rare Earth, Xiamen Tungsten, Southern Rare Earth, and Guangdong Rare Earth. 5 years later, China Rare Earth Group was established, integrating Southern, Minmetals, Chinalco, and Guangdong Rare Earth. The domestic rare earth industry has formed a three-legged situation, which has completely improved the past situation of small, scattered and chaotic industries. Almost all strategic mineral resources have been nationalized, and the state has coordinated development and unified allocation. In other words, with the current control of the rare earth industry by the state, if it wants to fight rare earth, it will really do its best, and every punch will hit the flesh, without any ambiguity. The United States is really short of rare earths, and China is increasingly not short of chips. From a strategic perspective, the U.S. chip license order is a desperate attempt to cure the disease. This is like two martial arts masters fighting. China uses Tai Chi to overcome strength with softness, while the United States, without even figuring out the opponent's moves, suddenly uses a set of 18 dragon subduing palms, but in the end, not a single punch hits the opponent. Is China still short of chips? Huawei laughed at this question, and even Nvidia founder Huang Renchuan had to wake up the United States. Even in such a cutting-edge technology field as artificial intelligence, half of the world's engineers are Chinese. Under the years of chip blockade by the United States, Chinese integrated circuit companies have worked hard to make breakthroughs in one technical difficulty after another. Companies represented by Huawei and SMIC have survived and demonstrated strong competitiveness, breaking through one by one from materials to equipment. Not only has it broken through the 7-nanometer advanced process technology, but it has also pushed China to leap up and become the world's largest chip exporter. With this innovation ability and fighting spirit, it is only a matter of time before it catches up with the United States in high-end technology. Trump has really miscalculated this time. Using a chip licensing order to counter China's rare earth licensing order is like a rabbit arm wrestling with a tiger. China will just have to wait and see whether the United States can survive the rare earth crisis.